I got some nice homemade compost. There's still a few corn cobs in there. Looks real good though.
Alright, good day again everybody. So it's been a really nice day today. We finally got a break from the cold weather the last couple of days. So I sat down and pulled up a few weeds and prepared a few garden beds. I figured we'd go and take a quick little look at what's still growing.
Alright, so we'll just start here by the door. I do still have these couple of pots of sweet potatoes. You can see they're sort of suffering a bit from all the cold weather we've been having lately. So I moved them just so that they're sort of under the cover of the house there. And hopefully they'll survive another couple of months and we'll get a couple of little sweet potatoes out of them. I've still got these little leek seedlings. It's sort of, I forgot about, and they sort of died off a little bit, so I'll have to go and plant those out. So I've still got a few beetroots left in here after my challenge. I had a few of those. And I've also planted a few turnips for the first time because I've never grown those before. But yeah, obviously I'm still waiting for them to bulb up. So this is my West Indian arrowroot, the stuff that you make arrowroot flour out of, and the cold weather's been killing it off, so I'm just going to wait until all the leaves die off and then I'll be pulling that up. So these are my Egyptian walking onions. They're still doing really well. They still haven't produced any little bulbs at the end of the leaves, but they were in a smaller pot and I think they got a bit root bound in there, so I think they've just been set back a little while, so hopefully they'll come along. Strawberries still doing good, except for that one. I've still got a couple of little potted potatoes here, and this one's doing really well. I could probably pull this one up. What else? Alright, so this little garden bed's just got a few little carrots in it. These are almost ready to be picked, some of the bigger ones. There's still some that are tiny though. And I've got my sage in there, that's doing pretty good. I had a spare thing of garlic, which I also put in there. And some chives still going. So this garden bed, I really need to pull out this thyme. I planted some lettuce here months ago, and it never emerged, but it looks like there's one coming now. And these are just some carrots. When I thinned out that last bed, I transplanted the carrots into here rather than chucking them away, and they've all seemed to have come back, so it'll be interesting to see how they go. I've still got my little jalapeno here. I'm hoping it will survive over winter. And lots of weeds and some strawberries up the back. My pigeon peas have done really well, at least this one has. Unfortunately, with the weather we've been getting, a few of them have been drying out prematurely or dying off sort of prematurely. Like that's a good example there. But there are still a few on there that do have peas in them. I was hoping that they would live long enough to just dry on there, but I might have to end up taking them off and freezing them while they're still fresh. So we've still got a few potatoes going. Again, potatoes can be affected by the frost, but because it's down sort of beside the house here and it gets the afternoon sun, I think it's sort of well protected. They seem to be doing pretty well here. There's another small patch there. I've also got this big patch of sorrel that I need to dig up because I could plant another couple of potatoes there. Alright, so this pigeon pea here and the other one in the banana pot, they've started flowering. I don't think, again, they're going to survive, but I'll just leave them there for the bees to get at the flowers. This one actually blew over in the wind the other night. I put one of those little pineapples out, but again, the cold weather hasn't been very nice to it. And I don't know if you can see under there, along where that string is, I have some peas. Dwarf blue bantam peas, I think, but they didn't really do well. I've had a couple of meals off of them, but I really need to replant them somewhere else. So I have my Cranberry Hibiscus. It's starting to flower, but I'll have to take some cuttings off of that just because we're coming into winter and I'm not sure if it will survive the weather here, since it is more of a subtropical plant. Comfrey's doing good. It's mostly just garlic. I did have some tomatoes, but yeah, the cold weather just absolutely destroyed them. Garlic's been doing well, and I've been planting in between the rows. So here I've got some coriander, and I've also got some baby carrots just starting to come up, and that's in between all of these rows of garlic here, and all the way down there as well. So yeah, what else we got in here? There's a couple of broccolis, the two that managed to survive being eaten by the bugs. Oh, and a little cauliflower there too. So yeah, I'll probably just pull out these tomatoes. It's definitely too cold for them now. I think the same for the eggplant, which I never really got to try. And same for this zucchini. I might just leave it in there, see how it goes. And another little tomato that's dying off, but I might get a couple of little small tomatoes off of it. Some nasturtiums, some red nasturtiums, that's good. Okay, so coming up to this bed, I had black-eyed peas there that it's too cold for, so I'm just going to cut them, leave the roots in the ground, because at least that'll fix a bit of nitrogen, being that they're a bean. Some more sage, good lot of green onions. These are really nice, these green onions, except there is a bit of leaf rust, which is sort of like a fungal disease that they get. I'm sorry, it's not focusing. But you can see that, little red spots. Basically just happens because it doesn't have enough air circulating around it, so I really need to get in and pull out all of these weeds. If we have another good day tomorrow, that might be my job for then. Some dill. Okay, so I grew dill one time and let it go to seed, and now I have wild dill growing absolutely everywhere. So literally everywhere. So I've got just some regular beetroots in here. They look like they're getting a bit spotty, but they have started to form bulbs there, which is good. These green-leaved ones are actually sugar beets, but they have not started to bulb up yet, so hopefully the seeds weren't mislabeled. Hopefully it's not silver beet. But yeah, hopefully they'll just take a bit longer and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so sort of this is the area that I've been working on today. I've planted some onion seeds, so these are brown onions, some red onions, some more brown onions. I just planted out another row of red onions today because the seeds that I had planted there never sprouted, so I just put out the rest of my other red onion seeds. Oh, we've got lots of wild borage plants coming up. That's another thing that you only ever have to plant once and you let it go to seed and it just sort of goes wild. But I might leave that because the bees really enjoy that. So I got my little bird's eye chili, still doing well. Another little nasturtium. I went out and planted all my shallots last month. So you can see most of them are doing pretty well. They've already started growing greens. There are a few that, like this one went in a bit later just to replace a couple that had rotted away. But yeah, those are looking really good. More onion seeds in there, just some pickling onions, and another row of garlic. and hopefully that'll be plenty of garlic. So here I actually have a Rakio onion, or Chinese onion, and so this is just a little, sort of like a little pickling onion that multiplies, so that might be nice. Some little capsicums and an old tomato and another old bird's eye chili. All this stuff will be coming out. More sage. I've got more sage than I will ever need. So I cleared this spot today and I planted my Perennial Leeks, just what was left. So I think I ended up getting 3 rows, so maybe 20 of those. I'm not sure, I didn't bother counting them, but yeah. Yeah, not bad. Alright, what do we have here? There is still the odd bean plant here somewhere. Oh yeah, dying off, but there's still a bean there. We got some last of the basil, I guess. Too cold for basil anyway. Well, little yellow Marconi capsicums are still going pretty well. They've even got a bit of new growth there, so leave them as long as they want to grow. And I'll have to dig up, this is my yacon. You can see it's pretty much dead. All the flowers have died off. There's one with a bit of colour left in it, but yeah, it's starting to die off. I'll have to get in there and dig it all up because I have a few people who would like some rhizomes that I need to distribute. So what else is there? Holy crap. Alright, so it turns out we've still got a few pumpkins left. I just do it on this one, so hopefully it's still good. I'd say that they're not all quite ripe yet. This one's definitely got a bit longer to go. And as for this one, it's still very shiny. And when they're still sort of shiny, they've still got some growing to go. So when it sort of becomes matte, or sort of hard to describe, but when that colour changes, you'll definitely notice it. And so here's one that's a bit closer, but you can see it's just not as reflective. So that'd probably be good to pull up and eat right now, if you can even see it, sorry. Still getting used to this new camera. So yeah, still plenty of pumpkins to go. Obviously the plant isn't enjoying the cold weather. Starting to get lots of curled leaves and stuff, but it's still growing, it's still putting on new growth. You know, I still can't mow the lawn for it. So yeah, it's obviously still doing its thing. There's another one. Alright, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.